when incorporeal Father Shiv Baba comes, he makes us, Jivatma, which is souls in a body, forget our bodies. So, when the bodiless Baba comes, he meets us and he makes us forget our bodies. And whenever you remember Baba, when you think about Baba, that's a very good method of becoming soul conscious. So just think about it. You see, Baba doesn't have a body. And Baba also comes into this old world. He just uses the apparatus of Brahma Baba's body. And what does he do? He expresses himself. He knows who he is. He is the ocean of knowledge, ocean of love, ocean of peace, bestower of happiness. He is the Almighty. And he is who he is, and he just, by his being and by doing as he is, he just expresses himself through Brahma Baba's body. And when Baba also acts through Brahma Baba's body, then every other soul around Brahma Baba, around Shiv Baba, playing his part through Brahma Baba, every soul has a different response to Baba, is it not? So it's not like every soul has the same response. But then, how does Baba respond to every soul? Like he is, not like they are. So first is, his actions are based on who he is, and his response is also based on who he is. So Shiv Baba is, so you see that when we are soul conscious, you understand that all your actions, all your responses are according to your sanskars. They are independent of the world outside. Doesn't matter which body you are sitting in, doesn't matter where you are. You are the soul doing everything. Yes, so when you're soul conscious, you know that I am the one thinking, speaking, acting through this body. I remember that when I came into Gyan, there was this practice we used to do, and still, in meditation we do, that I am a soul sitting behind the eyes, and I am the one thinking through my mind, speaking through my mouth, hearing through my ears, seeing through my eyes. So, what does that mean? That you are seeing through your eyes. So, your sanskars are responsible for what you see. You are hearing through your ears. So, a soul has a man, buddhi and sanskar. And basically, whatever we are doing, so if I am hearing something in a certain way, then it is my sanskar which is responsible for that. And I have to check that if my experience of life is not comfortable, then it has got everything to do with my sanskar and nothing to do with the world outside. And the more I think about the old world, the more the old world will start influencing me. And the more, my sense of I do everything and I am responsible for everything will fade away. And I'll get caught up in this, in this chakkar that it is the people around me, the situations which are making me do everything. But when you're soul conscious, you know that you are the one doing everything through the body, and it is your sanskar which is responsible for every response you're giving, or how you are seeing things, hearing things. Your perception and your response are both dependent on your sanskar. It has got nothing to do with the world outside. Yes, let's say, there was this, this one person, and he told me that, when so he told me that people should be afraid that God is watching them. So I said, why should people be afraid that God is watching them? People should be very happy that God is watching them. So, God is watching over you is a good thing, isn't it? So he said, I never thought like that. I never thought that God watching us is a good thing. I always thought that God watching us means, I have to be wary and be cautious, be with full caution, and I have to be very considerate about action. So I said, no, but when God is watching over you, you always have help, you have His love, you have His guidance. So that's a beautiful thing. So you see, it depends on your buddhi, your sanskar, how you even listen to a statement. Yes, so, and I will tell you one thing. When I started wearing white clothes and I started simplifying everything that in and around us, everything in and around me. At that time, many people said, that you have started living a very austere life and you are not engaging and indulging. And I felt very good about it. I did not feel bad about it. I felt like that's a compliment, because basically I am able to do what makes sense to me now. So I felt very good about it. So I didn't feel that anybody commented or they did something, or it was not something that I took in a bad way, because my sanskar was that, simplicity is a good thing. So that was something that was fed in my buddhi. So I started understanding that when somebody calls you simple, it's a good thing. Somebody calls you a sister, it's a good thing. But in the world, people say Behenji is a bad thing. So don't call me Behenji, yes. But when somebody calls you Behenji, it's a very good thing. So it's always your sanskar, it's always your buddhi with which you are listening, with which you are saying. Yes, even adversity. When you start becoming knowledgeful, you understand that adversity is a good thing. It is teaching you so much. And adversity is stripping you of your ego, and adversity, and even when people are withdrawing their praise from you, it's a good thing. So you're getting used to not depending on anybody's praise. You're getting used to have clarity about whatever you are doing, why you're doing it. It's not because of the benefits that are coming, it's because it makes sense to you. So your relationship, your perception with everything around you starts to shift with knowledge. And as you start imbibing knowledge, your buddhi starts to shift, your sanskars start to shift as you start shifting your karma. So Baba says that you are a soul and you are doing everything according to your sanskars and your buddhi. So your perception and your response both are dependent on sanskars and buddhi. And there is another thing which is my situations. So whatever is outside is a product of my karma. So even when you are soul conscious, you also understand that whatever setting I am in, whatever context I am in, that context is determined by my karma. And what if my context is not favorable right now, then I have to understand that it's a backlog of karma that I'm creating. But karma is a dynamic and I can shift it every second. So I am basically shifting the karmic balance by doing what I'm doing every second. So if I just paid a little attention and I did everything according to Srimad, then my karma would shift and then my situations would shift. But if I just kept repeating that I'm uncomfortable in my present context, that is not going to change it. And I always feel, if wishing away something could do it, it would be very beautiful. If you just could wish away something and it would go away, that's not how it works. In fact, the law says whatever you resist will persist. So when you are thinking about the context outside, then you are giving power to it. And if it is unfavorable, also it is growing that way. So you have to understand that if you want to change the context, so just like, when you want to change your image in the mirror, you change something on your face. Similarly, your situations, your context is a mirror image of your karmic, accumulation. Whatever is your karmic balance, that is reflected in the situations outside. So if something is not going right, you cannot change it by thinking about that. You can only change it by shifting your karmic balance. So again, karmic balance is independent of the situation. So how you respond, what you do will change your karmic balance. So Baba says, if you do everything according to Srimad, your karmic balance will shift and then situations will also be fine. So if you summarize these 2 points, then how I am perceiving, how I am responding is all about me, my sanskar. And when I am on Srimad, then I can shift my karmic balance, I can shift my doing, I can shift my sanskar. So basically, in order to live in this world, you need to know yourself and Baba, that's it. You don't need to know the world to live in the world. And if you look at Baba, does he have PhD on how souls are? No. He doesn't need to know us to benefit us. Just by being himself, he is benefiting us. And in some murlis, Baba has specified a lot that I don't come because you call me, I don't do anything for you, I just play my part. And when he plays his part, and that has got nothing to do with us, then we benefit so much and the world changes. So Baba says, when you have to play your part, you need to know yourself, you need to know Baba, you need to know Srimad. That's it. You don't need anything else to play your part here. So when you're soul conscious, this is one clarity you have, that just like Baba, by being himself, can bring about benefit in the world, so I also, when I'm with Baba and when I'm doing everything on Srimad, I can shift my sanskar, I can shift my karmic balance, I can also benefit the world. Yes, and then the second aspect of soul consciousness is I, the soul, have four things: the man, buddhi, original qualities, and acquired qualities. Yes, but what is my essence? My essence is my original qualities. So that is what is eternal in me. So right now I know that there is a lot in me, and that has to shift by following Srimad. But when I'm soul conscious, I'm aware of that essence. I'm aware that, I'm like Baba. I'm aware that I, the soul, am a Satoguni soul. I'm made of 7 qualities and I'm Baba's child. So when we receive the introduction of the soul, we learn 6 things about the soul, just like we learn 6 things about Baba. So the name of the soul is a soul. The name, there is form, so I am just a point of light. There is address, that I belong to the soul world. There is the quality, that originally I am made of just 7 qualities. There are only virtues in me. And then there is the relationship. I have all relationships with Baba. Baba is my father, mother, teacher. Everything I seek and need, I will get from Baba. This is also knowledge of the soul. And then the final thing is, what is my occupation? So my occupation is to belong to Baba and follow Srimad. So these are the 6 things that, when you are aware of these 6 things, when you are in awareness that I am a point of light, I am nothing more, nothing less, I am just a point of light. I come from that soul world, that is my home, and my father, my everything is Shiv Baba. All my relationships are with Baba, and I'm made in the image of God. My original qualities are these 7 qualities. And then my occupation is, in this whole Sangam Yuga, I have to belong to Baba and carry out the task that Baba has given me, world benefit. So Baba says, these are the things, when you hold in your awareness, then that is called soul consciousness. So knowing your original qualities, knowing Baba, and in soul consciousness, when you act, then you are able to change your karmic balance, you are able to change your sanskars, and you are able to change the sansar also. So there are 2 aspects. One is the spiritual aspect of knowing yourself as you are. Second is the practical aspect of knowing that, your karma and your destiny is not dependent on outside. Whatever you are doing is from a place inside. It is inside out. So if you change the inside, then the outside will obviously change. So we are, for many births, we have lived outside in. So you always think that whatever I'm thinking, doing is my response to the outside, and it has to be that way. But Baba says, no, it is always inside out. And when you know yourself, when you are in your, when you're positioned well in your spiritual self, as you are, whose child you are, and you remember your home, then whatever you do is good karma. And then with that good karma, you shift your sanskar also and your reality also. Outside also will change. So Baba says that it is very important to be soul conscious. And in soul consciousness, I could think of these points today, so I shared. So when you are soul conscious, Baba says, then you can benefit others. And when you are body conscious, you cannot benefit others. Baba says, in 1 second you will benefit, and another second you will not, you will stop benefiting and start harming. Why? Because 1 second, when you are soul conscious, it is inside out. When you are body conscious, it is outside in. Yes, so when it is outside in, then as soon as something is not happening right on the outside, you will have a reaction. And then instead of being a donor, you will start harming the other, soul. You will start having negative thoughts, behavior, everything. And when you have vices, when you have anger, when you have attachment, when you have greed, you cannot operate, inside out. It will always be, so anger, greed, attachment means your state of being is dependent on the people, places, things outside. Yes, and then anything on the external will be able to change your behavior. Any shift in the external will change your behavior. So you will take 1 second to shift from somebody who benefits to somebody who harms. And I will share today an interesting case of attachment. So, today Baba is talking about the monkey community. And what is a monkey community? So, Baba says the representative of a monkey community is Narad. And Narad is dressed as, dressed very formally, and he's always playing that musical instrument, and he's saying Narayan, Narayan all the time. But that Narad, when he went to marry Sri Lakshmi, then God asked him to look at his face in the mirror, and then he discovered that he looked like a monkey. So Baba today says that there is the monkey community, and Baba says the monkey community cannot find a place in the temple, because Baba says that if you are a bandar, you cannot go to a mandir. That is, you cannot be seated as a deity in the mandir. So this is a beautiful word play also. So Baba says that so when you are a monkey community, when you belong to the monkey community, which means that on the external you dress like a Brahmin, talk like a Brahmin, listen to the Murli, maybe externally you look like a perfect Brahmin, but if you have not finished the vices within, then you are the monkey community. And when there is attachment, when there is attachment, there will be, what will be there? Hurt. Yes, and Baba says, who is the monkey community? Those who don't recognize Baba very well. Those who don't, so Baba says, those who don't recognize Baba completely, or the intellect's yoga is not connected to him, then your body consciousness will not finish. Yes, and so I will tell you one thing. So, sometimes, there was one interesting case some days back, and what happened is there was this sister, and when she came into Gyan, so, in the beginning, you are obviously, you are attached to the instrument. So, you are attached to the one who is giving you the course, and you are attached to them, and you don't recognize Baba very much, and you kind of move with that attachment, and it is okay. And I heard Janki Dadi say in the class that, your relationship with the instrument and with Baba is like, when there is a construction, and in that construction, in order to lay the roof, you have to use some support. Yes, so without the support, you cannot lay the roof. So that support, those stilts that you use, they are necessary. But after the roof is laid, you remove those stilts. Otherwise, they spoil the beauty. Yes, so so you see that when a soul comes into Gyan, then there is obviously attachment with the instrument, and the instrument also is okay with it. We don't complain. It's okay. You see. But what happens is when you grow, it is necessary that you start recognizing Baba. And then your love for the instrument is because of love for Baba. So that is how it has to shift gradually. So because this is Baba's instrument, you love the instrument later on. But there was this one case where this lady, this sister, she did not get attached to Baba. She continued getting attached to only me. And then what happened is, whenever she would listen to anything in the Murli, she would take it very personally, because she would think that I am talking to her and telling her, finding faults with her. So whenever Baba is saying, you have to, you're not doing this or that, and then she would take it very personally and think that I am annoyed on her, and that's why I'm complaining. And she was not even able to know that this is Baba saying it. The attachment was so much. And then what happened is, she started getting hurt because of that. So she started taking it personally, and she started getting hurt also. So you see, attachment can be such a big problem. Yes, so whenever there is attachment, what is the sign of attachment? You take everything personally. Yes, what is the sign of attachment? So if I'm attached to, let's say, my mother, and then my mother is not able to take care of certain things because she's old, or she has a pain, or she is not emotionally in a good place, then I wouldn't understand that, and I would say, my mother doesn't love me anymore, because I'm so attached to her that whenever she's not giving me whatever I'm seeking, I would feel hurt. But Baba says that I am the ocean of love, and I'm giving you everything. But even if you are in somebody's attachment, any human attachment, even with the instrument you are attached, then you don't recognize Baba fully, and there is no growth. So you don't grow if there is no recognition of Baba, if there is no recognition of that Baba has come, and I have to grow, and I have to become able to sustain many others. You just think that I'm going to the instrument, and their job is to keep giving us love, and their job is to keep giving us, sustenance, and you are just attached to that, just like, you are attached to human beings constantly giving you something. So you are also attached to the love that the instrument is giving. But then you don't try to appreciate that Baba is trying to make you strong also. Do you understand that when you are attached to human beings and they try to make you strong, you don't like it? Yes? Do you like it? So there was this one sister, and she said that my husband once told me that when I fell down from the scooty, he told me that don't miss time, go for the exam. She was giving an exam in her medical, so she was doing MBBS at that time when she got married, and the husband said that get up and go for the exam first, we will look at the wounds later. So when she fell down from the scooty, that is what the husband said. And she went crying, and she felt very bad that the husband said, get up and go for the exam. And then she said that, Didi, I became a doctor because I gave that exam, and I'm earning and I have a life because of that exam. But I hate my husband for saying that, although my logical mind says that he said the right thing. Had I wasted time there and not gotten up, then I wouldn't be where I am today. But I don't know why I felt so hurt. So you cannot get empowered by someone who you are attached to. You have this very stupid sense of care you are expecting from them. So you always want them to keep protecting you, keep just sweet and loveful and this and that, and you don't want this balance of love and power. So only when you are attached to Baba, only when you recognize Baba, you love Baba, can you appreciate this whole thing. If you are attached to a human, you will always you will always maintain your weak state, because only weak souls can be continuously attached. And in psychology, if you see, attachment happens when you are a little child, when you're vulnerable, when you're weak. And attachment, and after that attachment, you need to evolve. If you don't develop yourself, if you don't grow yourself, then that attachment can do a lot of harm. So Baba says that you have to work on your vices. If you keep continuing to be attached, and most of the time, you get attached to even whatever you're getting from the instrument. So maybe sweet words, good palna, but that is not all. You have to grow strong also. And then if you're attached, you will not like that same instrument telling you, take charge of yourself. Yes, you have to get strong, and this is not the way you deal with things. And so this is why, it's very important to recognize Baba, recognize your purpose, recognize why you've become a BK. Sometimes, just because you get love from the center, you start joining. But love is not everything. There has to be love plus power. If you are getting love and you start depending on it, then how will you become powerful? Yes, and then you will have complaints when there is anything that is said to you to become powerful. So you don't like Baba's teachings about being punctual, being regular, taking charge of your actions, doing seva, being strong. You will not like all of that. You will always like the other person to just just keep speaking whatever your heart wants to listen. But that's not how you grow. So I don't know if I am able to phrase it properly, but this is there's something I want to convey today. And Baba is saying that, when there is attachment, when there is no recognition of Baba, when you don't understand who is Baba, what is your purpose, why you have come, then, even when you're coming every day to class, it may not be for the right purpose. It may not be because you are understanding the purpose and you are evolving and growing. Yes, so Baba says that you have to deal with your attachment, you have to deal with your body consciousness, then you have to deal with, you have to deal with anger. And, anger is such that it can get triggered anytime. And if you have anger, it will get triggered. And in my experience, the most calm looking people on the outside could have a lot of anger inside. Yes, and I knew one sister, and she was like very sweet and very polite on the outside, but she had a lot of anger, and whenever something happened, it would just hurt her ego. And then she would be very irresponsible in her behavior. And Baba today says that anger comes from lack of knowledge. When you don't know yourself, when you don't understand the drama, when you don't understand that your purpose is to become a deity, then you can't deal with your anger. And that anger can only be finished in the fire of knowledge and fire of yoga. And if you are not doing that, then there is anger. And when people are angry, their behavior shows they are angry. And sometimes somebody will shout, but that's not the only expression of anger. Anger means when your ego is ruffled, then you will come from a place of discontentment. You're burning inside, and when that burning inside happens, then the words you speak, the acts you do, they are not right. And in a sensible moment later in life, you will be very ashamed of them. What begins in anger ends in shame, but you will not be aware of it at that time. And you will do all sorts of things which will bring disgrace to yourself. Baba says, you will speak negative about Baba also. You will say wrong things, but you will not realize it at that time. And it is all anger. And anger has its root in ego, and knowledge finishes ego. If you don't understand who you are, what is your aim, what is the drama, you don't understand your qualities, then that ego will get hurt, and in that anger you will do something which will bring shame to you and the family and everything. But that is what is happening. So Baba says, stop being the monkey community. So, apparently we all look like, we are very good BKs, but if there is attachment, if there is greed, if there is anger, then we will not be able to be soul conscious and fulfill, the purpose that Baba has given us. There will be some or other break in our journey. And it is very necessary to see what we are doing, why we are doing it. Do I recognize Baba? Is my intellect connected to Baba, or is my intellect connected to something else that I'm getting, maybe intellectual satisfaction, maybe some love from the family, maybe something else. Yes, but if my intellect is not connected to Baba and my purpose is not clear, then somewhere or the other in the journey, from being someone who benefits, I will change into someone who harms. Okay, so this is something that Baba is saying.